Today we're talking about the DJI Simulator on the DJI RC2 and the DJI RC2 Pro. Now, I will be showing you everything on the RC2 Pro, mainly because it has all the courses, whereas the DJI RC2 only has 2 courses. You are able to choose 2 drones, so you can choose the Air 3S and the Mavic 4 Pro on the actual RC2, but when you go into immersive flight, you only have the skate park and Stonehenge. Stonehenge is a 3D reconstruction, so I'm surprised they didn't add more to it, but I'm guessing just because it's nowhere near as powerful as the RC2 Pro, they've limited it to 2. If we do go into the options, we are going to see that we only have 2 options, whereas on the RC2 Pro, we also have the option to change it from performance to image quality and add music. In the RC2, we can't add music or change performance or image quality. That out of the way, the actual simulator on the RC2 Pro is quite fantastic and allows you to have a whole load of courses. I'll tell you in a second which my favorite is. And you can fly around and you can really feel like you're out there flying. It's very, very well done. And it's a whole load of fun. And if you crash, you don't need DJI refresh. So it's definitely good for practice. It'll allow you to get some funky shots. You can record your shots. You can take photos whilst you're out there. So you can practice your, your photography and your cinematography whilst you're flying. Anyway, let's do a little bit of a screen recording and I'll walk you through what's going on. Right, so let's jump into this. At the top right, we have DJI Simulator. We're going to click that and it's going to open up. Let's have a look. On the left, we have the drone hangar. So we have the option of the Mavic 4 Pro or the DJI Air 3S. We're going to be using the Mavic 4 Pro today, as it's my favorite drone. On the top right, we have 3 dots. If we press them, you're going to have image settings, performance, or image quality. I leave it on performance. You have background music. We are going to turn it off for now, just so it's not annoying and you can hear me. Here we have the scene management. So we have all the scenes that I've downloaded, because you do have to download them. And about, you can always check for an update if you feel there's an update. I do have the latest option, which is 1.1.0666, and that's about it right there. So basic courses are coming soon. We have the first one, which is beginner. I can quickly show you what that's about. It's basically in the city. You can tap the screen to move, and it basically walks you through all the options of the controller and what you have to do. I don't really want to go through this so that you guys can go through it yourself. It's basically like a little tutorial on what to do when you're flying. So put the sticks in, it turns on, it has some sound effects, and we can tap the screen and we can press forward. So stuff like that, it will walk you through it. Anyway, we're going to exit this. And you will have more stuff coming soon. Basically, no doubt, this is the beginner. We're going to have pro, medium, and advanced. Let's go back and let's go into immersive flight. Now, we're going to go through every single one of these, yeah? And starting off with the urban landscape. This is how it's going to look on your screen if you're just starting. We have the skate park. So let's go and fly that. Now, today I'm going to fly every single one so you guys can have an idea of what it looks like. You can walk around and place your drone in different areas if you want, yeah? So we can place the aircraft, or we can also change the aircraft if we want. But we're going to place the aircraft, so now we have the aircraft here. Before we go anywhere, I want to quickly show you the controls. So waypoints, as you can see when you click it, coming soon. Not everybody uses waypoints, but it's a cool way to learn them. If we press the map, we go between the map view and your flying view, yes? At the bottom, we can change between auto settings and we can change between pro settings. For this little walkthrough, we're going to have it on auto, and we can also change between photo and video, as you can see here, which is pretty cool. Now, we can also change between the 2.5 and the 6x cameras. So we're gonna be using one for now, and we can also have autofocus and manual focus. So it's got a whole load of different ways that kind of basically imitate what's going on in the real flying screen when you're actually out and about. At the top we have 100% battery, we have Cine mode, N mode, S mode, so you can change those just like as if you were flying. Your RC signal, which will come in handy. We can turn on the bypass, so right now we're going to have all the sensors on, and we have satellites. Now if we go back in the top right hand side corner where we have those three dots, if we press them, we basically do have a pretty similar, not a full, but a pretty similar menu as you would have in the in the Mavic 4 Pro or the Air 3S when you're flying. So you can have return to home altitude, you can have signal lost, you know, you can change all of this, right, when you're flying. So it's pretty cool. You can take off the sensors with control, you can change your gain and expo. So you can do a whole load of stuff here to imitate what's going on when you're really flying. You can change the button customizations. And we can go to camera, we can turn on, you know, different stuff, and obviously transmission and about is coming soon because they're still working on this. But anyway, if we either pull both sticks in or if we press take off like you do normally, it's going to take off. And as you can see in the top right, all the sensors are on. So if I do fly into something, it should basically bypass it. And this is the skate park, as you can see. So we can fly up and we can fly around. You do have some cars driving around, and there will be walls. So if you try and fly past this building here, it's going to kind of like stop you halfway. See, there is a wall right there, yeah. And like say if we go into Cine mode, it's going to fly really slow, and it's going to be really smooth. And if we go into sports mode and we fly straight into a building, you are going to crash because the sensors are off. So you're going to have a little view of you crashing, which will simulate what's happening with your drone when it crashes. And believe me, it does look like that when it crashes, and you can actually play back the crash. And it's pretty cool because you can actually look around and see what the drone's doing. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, and you can see what's happening with this drone when it crashes. Boom. And that is probably what your Mavic 4 Pro would look like, and it would hurt a lot if it fell on the ground. If we press back, we go back into flying, and we can continue flying around this map, which is nice. And you know, you can do a lot. So we have to go back into normal, and we can fly around. So if you do fly behind some of these buildings, you are going to notice some signal deterioration. So if I fly up here and I fly around, you're going to see that my signal is going to get worse, which is what's going to happen when you're flying a real drone, which is nice. So if I go back here, you should see the signal is it's disappearing a bit, right? It's a lot worse than it was a second ago. So it kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to be like when you're actually flying your drone. You can tilt your camera. You can basically do everything with this drone that you would do with a normal drone. We go behind the building, maybe the signal might get a little bit worse. If we go back down here, you can see it getting worse. Now, if we do press return to home, we have the option obviously to land or return to home. So it's now going to return to home. It's going to go up to the 100 meters as specified. And as it has bypass on, it should bypass any obstacles that it has in its path. And as you see, it's going to do a really nice job. Now, I got to tell you, I do enjoy the simulator, and I've tried all of them. In fact, I do have one favorite. A few of them are kind of so-so, but they're definitely a lot better than they were before. Now, I'm going to do this once so you guys can have a look at what actually happens. And once again, it does simulate flying a drone really well. And you can still press all the buttons, so you can press forward, you know, you can press down, you can, you know, tilt up, you can look around, you can see what's going on as if you were flying a real drone. Because this is really what it looks like, yeah? This is exactly what it looks like to fly a real drone. You can turn around, you still have some control when it's landing, you can look at yourself. That's exactly what I look like when I'm flying my drone. And it lands, and that's about it, yeah? So that is the first course. Now let's exit, and let's go into Sunny Island. Sunny Island is quite nice, and it gives you quite a few cool options to fly around. So let's put the sticks in this time. Let's fly up, And right there, look at that. Look at those paragliders. I mean, there is some crazy stuff going on. And obviously one of my favorite things, we have a lighthouse. So we can basically manually circle the White House. Did I say White House? I did mean lighthouse. The White House today is having a lot of trouble, obviously, with Mr. Trump and Elon Musk, as I read in the news, but we're concentrating on the lighthouse, which it doesn't seem to be having any trouble. Now we can go back and we can do one of my favorite things, which is basically jumping in to the 6x zoom. So let's press the 6x zoom, yeah? Let's pull back a bit. This is beautiful. This is the kind of Michael Bay thing. And we are going to circle. So we're going in, let's go into sports so we can get it nice and fast. And this is basically what I do a lot of the time. I just put in sports. We can go in, oh, look at those guys. That is such a cool shot. And we have a really, really nice parallax shot. So you can actually train yourself like I do in the middle of watch of my city here, doing stuff like this on the long lens. I mean, you can go in really, really close. Sometimes I'm basically this close. So it does take some practice of keeping it steady. But once you get everything right, it has a really, really nice look to it. And because the 6x zoom doesn't do tracking, it will allow you to do spotlight. So you'll be able to do something like this, but it's way more fun doing it in manual mode. Anyway, let's get out of that and see what's really going on. So this is no doubt my favorite map. It gives you a really, really nice view of what flying around a tropical island will look like. Now we do have the sensors off, remember? So flying around could be a little bit dangerous, but you can fly around, you can get some cool shots. Flying through here, you should lose a little bit of, yep, there we go. Your RC goes down and then your RC comes back up. And if you don't have your sensors on, that could be a really, really bad accident. So remember, this really does teach you how to fly in reality, you know, and it's fun. I really do like flying with this. I think it's pretty cool. Now, obviously, flying in real life, you would have to watch out for other people. I am really, really winging it here. And you can like do a whole load of stuff. So this is no doubt my favorite course because it is the most diverse. Now, if we go into normal mode, we can, for example, we can fly through here, which you would probably never do unless you're living in this hotel. So we're gonna have to take off actual the sensors so that you can fly through stuff like this, or else it just won't let you. But see, you can do some really, really cool stuff, right? And it's fun. It really is fun. I do like this course, and I think this is by far my favorite of all courses. And you can fly back to yourself. So I never use return to home, so I normally just fly in and I just land myself. So that's basically how I do it. Well, let's say that's not how I do it, but that's pretty close to how I do it. Anyway, let's go back and let's exit this one and let's see the next course, which is, let's have a look, Grabini. Now, this one is a 3D reconstruction and you don't have it on the RC2. In fact, on the RC2, you only have 2 courses. So flying around here is a lot more interesting in the RC2 Pro because you have a lot more courses. Now, I find this one to be the most boring. It's like, okay, I mean, I've gone to some nice island. It's pretty here. What am I going to do? A few parallaxes? Yeah, maybe. So when you're parallaxing, you can do some cool stuff. Like you can actually, you know, use cruise control. You can update cruise control. You can cancel cruise control. So say if we want to go around nicely, there we go. We have cruise control on. And say we want to jump into 2.5 times mode, we can update the cruise control. There we go. Look at that. You can do some really cool shots with cruise control, or we can cancel it and we can just go in ever so slightly. We can, now what I do normally is I look down, I look up, and I know right about there should be good for me to go straight. So I just put on cruise control, and boom, I'm going. Now it's gonna have a nice straight line. It should not crash in to that building, but it's gonna have a really nice flyby, and you know, you've created a cool shot right there. So anyway, let's go into the next one, as this one, it really does bore me a little bit. We have Stonehenge. Now, Stonehenge is probably one for training, flying through, you know, tight places. So we can fly through tight places, but you do have to remember you will need your sensors off. So if you're flying through these tight places, going slow, going quick, you will need all your sensors off, or else it just won't fly through. It will stop, as it does have very good avoidance, right? So you can fly through all of this. You can get some cool shots flying through some of these places, or you can practice basically getting some shots of just flying, you know, up and over, and getting some, you know, cool shots of Stonehenge, if you were ever to come to Stonehenge, you know. And that's basically what Stonehenge looks like. There isn't much around here to do, except, you know, flying around and getting some, you know, cool shots with your Mavic 4 Pro. Now, like I said, we can exit, and just for you guys out there, we are going to change to the Air 3S, okay? Take it, I got it. Right, go back to immersive flight, and now we're gonna try the castle. Yeah, the castle has a lot more to do than Stonehenge, and it's probably the second one that I like after the tropical islands. I don't know if that's the Philippines or Thailand, but now we have the Air 3S, right? And once again, if you want, you can turn off the sensors so you can fly a little bit more, you know, ruthlessly and limitlessly around this landscape. And as you can see, there's way more to see here, and you can actually go through the castle. You can create some nice shots. You can spin around here. You can see how lucky you are flying with no sensors on. And you can see how much your let's have a look. Let's fly through here. Can we fly through here? Yes, we can. You can see how well flying around with the RC works, and how it affects your ability to keep signal. You know, I mean, there should be some signal loss. So if we go through here, it's nice that, you know, this is another 3D kind of. So if we go through here, and I think if we're in here, it goes down a little bit. Yeah, see. Now, I doubt we can get the Air 3S through here. I'm doubting it. Let's try it. Oh, we did! Oh, okay. Well, that's fun. So yeah, see, there's a whole load of stuff you can fly around here. You can get some cool shots, and you can go through those little holes. And if you do that in real life, you're going to be really, really psyched, because that's a little bit dangerous, and you probably would lose your Air 3S up there. And as you can see, there are even smaller holes right here. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's probably something you should be doing in oh, we did it. Probably something you should be doing. Woo! In cine mode, but it's way more fun in normal mode. And in fact, I fly most of my time in sports mode. But yeah, it's fun. You know, we can go up this hot air balloon, and we can circle it. You know, we can get a nice circle going on. Oh no, it won't allow us to go much further, but we can probably, you know, crash into it. Yes, we can. There we go. See, it's realistic. Now, I wouldn't recommend going anywhere near a hot air balloon with your drone, because that's no doubt very, very dangerous, and you'll probably end up in prison. So yeah, keep away from that. But in this, you can see that you can almost get close to it, but it won't allow you to, probably for safety and legal reasons, and people trying to copycat that. But anyway, we have almost been through all of them, as you see. So Sunny Island is by far my favorite. I think the next one is the castle. We also have the monastery. So if we go to the monastery, we can quickly show you this. It is another 3D reconstruction. Let's place it. Let's take off. And let's fly around. Remember, we are still on the Air 3S, so we can fly around here, and we can see what this place looks like, and what it would look like to actually fly around this area with your drone. Now, I actually think the Air 3S is no doubt one of the best drones you can possibly pick up. I love the Mavic 4 Pro, but this guy is just, it's fantastic. It's an incredible drone. If you're wondering if I fly like this in real life, yeah, quite a lot of the time, in fact I do, but I try not to fly next to places that are going to get me into trouble. So if I do fly like this, it's between trees and, you know, branches and stuff. Woo! Oh yes! So you gotta ask yourself, you're gonna be playing this or are you gonna be playing GTA? I mean, I think a little bit of both. I think this is just so much fun, you know, to fly around. Ah, there you go. See, when you get a little bit cocky, sometimes you are going to get served. So that is the Monastery. It's fun. Let's exit. Let's go to the last one and go fly. And what we're going to do here is we're going to switch back to the Mavic 4 Pro for the very end for you guys, just to see DJI Air 3S, Mavic 4 Pro. Take it, yes I will. Place aircraft, and this time we're gonna do it by hand. Look at that. And this one's okay. I mean, it's nothing to write home about, but it's these reconstructions. It doesn't matter if you have it in performance or if you have it in image quality. They all look the same. So don't think that actually makes any difference. But yeah. Woo. So yeah, this is okay. I mean, it's nice if you want to try and fly in a few different places. That will give you an idea of what, you know, what your signal strength is going to be like, what flying around is going to look like, and oh dear, and what happens when your signal cuts out. This is exactly what happens when your signal cuts out, and that's basically when your heartbeat already speeds up, because when it starts doing that, you're like, oh my god, no. And then you're so happy when things are better. Yeah. So once again, you know, we can put on cruise control, and look at that. I mean, once you put on cruise control, and even if you want to, you know, change it a little bit, you can get some really cool shots. Just beware that cruise control can get you in trouble if you're not looking at what you're doing, and also if you're not if you haven't enabled your sensors, then, you know, stuff will happen and you'll be in trouble. So just be careful with cruise control, even though it is no doubt one of the coolest options we have, because we can put it on cruise control and we can do some really smooth movements like this, and we can concentrate on the tilt. Yeah, so we're flying around and we can do like reveal shots whilst we're getting a really nice sweeping kind of shot. So you can do stuff, just beware that stuff can go wrong if you don't have your sensors on, or, you know, if it's a dangerous spot. Anyway, that was everything. And also just one last thing for you, you can also switch view. If you want to play in a kind of GTA kind of style, you can film like this, and you can play around like this, which, I don't know, it's a little bit scary. It's weird filming in this kind of this view. I don't like this view. It scares me. But we also obviously have the option of taking photos. So if we look up, you can click to take a photo, and if we start flying and you press the record button, it will start recording. Yeah, just like with a real drone. So you can actually record this whole thing, and you can show it back to your friends, and you can say, hey, look, I was here, I flew, and this is what it looks like. And, you know, you can practice your shots above all. So you get this shot here and you think, okay, maybe I want to up a little bit so the horizon's a little bit there, and click, boom, you've done it. That's how cool this application is, and it really does help you see everything. See, look, you can actually look at all the actual cameras. It gives you a real representation of what's going on when you're flying a drone, including changing everything here. So if we change everything, we can actually completely make everything darker, and you'll be like, oh my god, okay, so this is how it works when you're changing your settings, you know. And that's a really cool way to learn how to change your settings. So as you saw, flying around the courses that DJI has created for us is really fun, and it's a really good simulation to really get to grips with flying a drone. If you're scared of going out there and flying in real life, practice in this, because it is very, very close to what we're doing flying out there in, you know, in the Alps or the exotics or even around a monastery. So have a go at it, see how you feel. Crash as many times as you want, and you know, soon enough you'll get the hang of it. Try it in sports mode. I fly in sports mode 99% of the time, and I like flying in sports mode. This really gives you a very good simulation of what it's going to be like flying your drone. If you do have any questions about this, drop them down below. If you like my video, give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And I'm going to catch you on the next one.